Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fragrant Bunker. Today I have a really special topic I've been thinking about for a while now because people have been asking me, Dacob, how do you buy a perfume? Like, if you start collecting perfumes and loving perfumes, like, don't you just want to buy all of them? Isn't that really expensive? So I started thinking to myself, well, let's do a list. How to buy perfumes, how to collect perfumes, how to, deal with perfumes. How to use them, but in particular, this video is about how to go about adding perfumes to your collection, you see. And it's not that crazy as you might think. I did compile a list, and I did compile for this video a special kind of like a chart that I follow, because I was analyzing this for myself, like, okay, hold on a minute. How do I actually do this? What's the strategy that I have? How do I purchase perfumes? How do I go about purchasing perfumes? And I started compiling a list. I wanted to make a chart, like as simple as possible to understand also for myself. And it was really interesting for myself to figure out, oh, okay, this is how I do it. So I'm going to share this list with you today, and we're going to go through the perfumes and how it works for me in the best way possible, which might be surprising to you, is not as costly as it may appear to be. All right, so first, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today. Gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon. superdacob, all spelled together there as well for extra perks. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream several times a week on my main superdacob channel. Come join me there for the live chats. Hello to my co-chatters. Okay, you guys. Nay says, from the chats, I actually love tackling things we think we may already know about our thought processes with charts and lists. Happy Life says, great topic. I love to know. Gloria says, yes, I want to know. Oh, and Nay is so excited for this topic. My man of nuance. Y'all, let me tell you where it's at. This is really exciting because I'm the type of person. So, of course, the YouTube channels existed before I started my channel, especially my perfume channel, which started years after my main superdacob channel. So by this, I want to say I've seen a lot of perfume content out there, people who had perfume channels way before I started YouTube. For me, the OG is always going to remain Katie Puckrick. Okay, so Katie Puckrick, if you know, she's like, I'm Katie Puckrick and I smell. You know Katie, but she comes from television. So she already had a background in terms of performance and being present on camera. She was very slick, she delivers the zingers, and her videos were very short, like 2 to 5 minutes long. Her reviews of every perfume. You could see that she comes from television because she had this way of reviewing a perfume like you would do on TV, short amount of time, deliver the little funny zingers and move on. It's not the type of review I personally would do because it's a little bit superficial for me, but I love her. But anyway, she was the one that initiated this whole kind of like, look, I got this perfume and this perfume and this perfume. We're going to talk about this one, perfumes, so many different perfumes. And then other channels started, popping up like mushrooms, on the internet, on YouTube, and people reviewing perfumes. And then you started having the strange ones like Jeremy Fragrance, who then started The Wall. I don't know if he initiated it, but he was one of those that had like this huge collection of perfumes behind his back, to show off how big the collection is. And then more and more of these people jumped onto this boat of like showing off the ginormous. This is an AI generated background, by the way, for the purpose of this video. Okay, just letting you know. I'm not one of those people. I actually got anxiety looking at certain channels that would constantly showcase these backgrounds with hundreds of bottles of perfume. And I'm like, well, this is not me. And one of the reasons why I started reviewing perfumes is because I wanted to slow down this overconsumption of fragrances, because a lot of these channels today, what they do is they make you kind of want to buy a new perfume every time you watch one of their videos, because they're obsessively rushing and running after purchasing as many new perfumes as possible. And just the last Essence perfume fair in Italy, pardon me, Clayton Lolahia, one of my friends who he works for also for the perfume industry, he'd had like a sort of a TED talk talking about like how many just niche fragrances are released in a year. And just in 2023, it was over 1,000 new releases. So you can imagine those perfume channels that always think that they have to have the newest release and review a ton of them every week just to be the first to get the scoop on every single release. I mean, it's insanity. Some of these channels get bigger and then they start receiving free testers or samples of these perfumes. And, but then the regular consumer watching these channels, you go, geez Louise, how am I supposed to buy all of these and keep up? You're not supposed to. First of all, thumb up this video if you're enjoying it and subscribe. I'm the type of person who, personally, I need a lot of time before I can feel a perfume, deliver a perfume or the love of a perfume. Hold on, I have a fan here. Let me just turn it off. It's so annoying me. Let's not give a Beyonce moment. It keeps blowing hair into my face. We digress. So it's all about this. I wanted to start reviewing perfumes in a slow way. When you watch a perfume review of mine, some of the perfumes I review, I take 2 years to prepare the review, like Mahora or Maora by Guerlain. Took me 2 years. Go check out that review. I develop a relationship with the fragrance. And this is also how I go about purchasing fragrances. So I'm going to share with you my strategy, how I purchase them. And you're going to be surprised. It's not as many as you think, right? So I have compiled a list. And first, I start slowing down. And I take my time to review a perfume. That's why you don't see me posting a perfume review every day on my channel. It takes me time to do so. I favor top 5, top 10 lists most of the time because I get to revisit the perfumes that I already love. So I get to talk about them. To me, these perfumes are like my friends. So every time I get a chance to talk about these perfumes again, it's like reigniting the spark. So it's not being lazy at all. Revisiting certain perfumes is more about remembering the dead. In Egyptian mythology, embalming the deceased and giving them eternal life through this transformation. Basically, they're saying remembering the dead keeps them alive. Now, why do I mention the dead when I talk about perfumes? Perfumes have a very particular connection to me with the symbology of death. Because when you spray on a perfume, you give it life. It's born on your skin. Then you have the opening notes, mid notes, base notes, and then the perfume dries down as it dies on your skin. So you witness an entire lifespan of this gorgeous storyteller, right? Which is the fragrance on your skin. And as it develops, it tells you a story, a beautiful story, if you love the fragrance, and then it slowly fades away. It's almost as if a perfume, at least this is how it is for me, and of course everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion. But it's as if a perfume, wearing perfumes kind of cradles you and caresses you and makes you feel safe and tells you, hey, life is short, life is limited, but it's okay. You're going to be fine. It's kind of like a perfume trains you every time you spray it on and you smell it slowly die away. It trains you to accept your own mortality. And it also trains you to accept the beauty of how volatile and short life is. You appreciate it that much more. And if you have a really, really special perfume that's maybe been discontinued, you use it sparingly just for special occasions. You savor it like you savor life. Perfumes, to me, are really a way they keep showing me every day how beautiful life is, and they make me appreciate life more and more. That's why they're so special to me. That's why I don't over binge with perfumes. I give them the respect. So let me cue in this list. It looks all crazy. I've done it with my notepad. There's like red lines underneath it, like for the corrections, because it thinks EDP is a wrong word. It's an abbreviation for eau de parfum. But let's go through my list of how I purchase perfumes. And this is how I would recommend everybody to think about perfumes while purchasing them. So don't think about perfumes as panty droppers, as, oh my God, I'm going to be the first one to review a ton of new niche releases, this and that, this and that. Think about them as your friends, as your relationships. You know, you only have 2 or 3 really good friends. If you're lucky, you got 2 or 3 really good friends in your life. Otherwise, it's acquaintances or, well, colleagues that you might like or not like in your life. As Vivienne Westwood would say, buy less, choose well, make it last. Same applies not just for clothes, accessories, but also for perfumes. Let me cue in my list. Okay, how to shop for perfumes. 4 categories. I have limited myself to 4 categories. Let me just slide to the side completely so you can take a screenshot if you want, and then I'll cover it up a little bit. Screenshot moment for whoever wants to. Alrighty. Forgive me if there's any grammar errors in there. I typed this out. Anyway, okay. Now, let's go through this list. Point 1, new releases. These are the most seldom purchases I make. You might think every new release. These are the most expensive purchases because new perfumes being released are the ones that cost the most. These are the ones that I seldomly purchase. In fact, let's go through the list. Examples. In 2024, I only purchased 2 new releases. And as I'm making this video, it is April, mid-April. So we're 4 months into the year. Okay, 1/3 of the year has passed. I've only purchased 2 new releases. Technically, New Look was already pre-launched last year, but I did not purchase it last year. I purchased it this year. So to me, it's new. And Comet was released this year. So I have them here with me. So while other perfume reviewers out there in the first 4 months of the year, they might have already purchased 20, 30, 40 perfumes, new releases. Dacob only purchased 2. So these are the 2 that I purchased this year thus far. New releases. New Look, which I adore, by Dior, and Comet. And Comet, I call it Comet, but my French friends keep correcting me saying, no, Dacob, in French you have to say Comet. As if there were 10 T's. Comet. But I kind of prefer the softer version, Comet. So I've reviewed Comet and I've reviewed the New Look or New Look. That's it. I only purchase new perfumes if they really speak to me. If they really, really move me in a special, special way. And then I review them relatively shortly after purchasing them. That review is usually a first impressions review. And then I re-review them after some time has passed, after they have told me more stories. So you best believe I'm going to be revisiting Comet and New Look pretty soon because I've been wearing these on rotation. I adore them, both of them. But that's it. The most expensive perfumes that I purchase, which are the new releases, are very, very limited. Example, last year, I only purchased one new release in the entire year of 2023, and that was Shalimar Millésime d'Iris. However, I liked it so much, and it was a limited edition release, that I purchased backups. So I have 2 bottles of Shalimar Millésime d'Iris. Now, but we're going to get to the backups, but let's get to new concentration. So this is the second category of my list of how to shop for perfumes. This category is new concentrations, formulas, or flankers, or flanker releases of perfumes I already have and love. So this is not a rediscovery of something new. So most of my budgeting for perfumes goes for purchasing stuff I already know I love. I'm that person. I'm very faithful. I'm a very faithful friend. And so, I'm also very faithful to my perfumes. The ones I love from all my life. So examples, in 2024, I purchased just one new concentration, and I consider this a new concentration because, of course, I already have Gardenia, the eau de parfum or the eau de toilette, but Chanel this year released Gardenia oil, or the oil, huile. This is a brand new concentration. I wouldn't call this a flanker. It's not like Gardenia by night, IYKYK. No, this is Gardenia, 1-to-1, the Gardenia we know and love from Chanel that's been around for 100 years now almost, but it's a new concentration. Now, many decades ago, Chanel did have a Gardenia bath oil, but they discontinued it and now they brought back a body oil. So this is a new concentration, Chanel Gardenia oil. I bought it because I love Gardenia so much. So if they release a new concentration of it, you best believe I'm going to buy it. So that's what I also spend money on, new concentrations. Or a new formulation. The new formulation is Cristal Eau de Parfum. Technically, Chanel tells us it's not a new formulation. They've just rebottled Cristal and put it in the Chanel No. 5 Eau de Parfum bottle. However, my nose sniffs out a difference. I have reviewed Cristal Eau de Parfum, and of course I love Cristal. And if Chanel releases a new bottle / new formulation of a perfume that I love, of course I'm going to buy that as well. So I did purchase Cristal Eau de Parfum, new bottle and formula. And then a new concentration altogether, which was Chanel Eau Fraiche Eau de Parfum. It was released last year, but I only purchased it this year. You can also check out my review of Eau Fraiche Eau de Parfum. So you see, I'm budgeting for stuff I already have, that I love, that is now being released in new concentrations. Point 3, past releases that I newly discover. Usually I buy them pre-loved or from discount websites. Example, in 2024, I purchased one perfume from this category, and that would be Guerlain's Après L'Onde. Après L'Onde. After the rainstorm, the eau de toilette. I purchased it new from a discount website. So basically perfumes that have been around. This one has been around since 1905/1906, which is when it was released. Sure, it went through reformulations, what have you, new bottles, blah, blah, blah. The current version of Après L'Onde, it comes in this bottle from the Légendaire's repackaging, blah, 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 Guerlain. However, because it's been around for such a long time, it is possible to save some money and hunt fragrances like these that are not brand new releases. It is possible to hunt them down on discounted perfume websites. Do your due diligent research. Do not get tricked into buying fakes. This video is not about telling you which discount websites to use. I'm not going to tell you that because some of them are sketchy and shady. So I don't want to be blamed later, like, Dacob, you told me to buy on that website and I got a fake. So do your research, guys. Be careful, okay? But if you know what you're doing, I got this one at half the price of what Guerlain sells it for on their own website. So save a lot of money by doing your research on these fragrances that have been around for a long time. Also, because they've been around for a long time, it is possible that somebody is selling it on a pre-loved website. They don't want the perfume anymore, so you can save some money there as well. But I've only purchased one new discovery of an oldie but goodie for me thus far this year, and that would be Après L'Onde. There you go, and I love it to bits. Oh my God. It grows on you. In the beginning, you're like, what gives? But then the more time passes and the more, I'm obsessed with this one. I love it so much. There you go. Number 4, restock of already owned and loved perfumes. Often good deals. And here we got 2 subcategories. Subcategory 4A, new releases I love. I stock up on, this is what I was mentioning in point 1, if I really love a perfume a lot, I will buy of the first batch released 2 or 3 of them. I have not purchased Comet twice yet. I'm traveling a lot though. So if when it's officially released worldwide in May, and if I find it at duty free for cheaper, then I might snatch another bottle. But anyway, subcategory 4A, new releases I love, I stock up on in case formulas change. This is seldom because I seldom buy new releases, right? So in fact, of the new releases that I did stock up on is this one, New Look. I bought 2 bottles of New Look because I really loved it that much. I travel a lot, so I bought the travel version of it because obviously 125 ml, you can't take it on the plane as a carry-on because 100 ml is your limitation. But so Dior does the 40 mils. So I bought several bottles of the 40 mil, just to be safe. And New Look, I did buy several bottles. Just in case, they were to decide to reformulate them later. This is what I do, right? So, but this happens seldomly because I seldomly buy new releases. Again, back to point 1, only 2 new releases purchased thus far, of which one of the releases I bought a backup. Subcategory 4B, old releases I love. I buy whenever I come across a batch I like, pre-loved or new. Example, in 2024, I bought Chanel No. 5 Parfum Spray Refill, batch code 9XXX. This is a brand new batch code bought new. Example, so this is a perfume I will love till the day I kick the bucket and beyond, hopefully. So this is the 7.5 ml refillable spray. You buy these vials, okay? And I love it. This is the love of my life. I never leave home without this little spray bottle, okay? So from time to time, I repurchase the refills. Here it is. And in fact, this is the latest one I purchased, batch code 9301. So it's a relatively fresh new batch code. It's right over here. There you have it, 9301. And so this is the Parfum Recharge Spray Refill of Chanel No. 5. So this is the subcategory 4B, old releases I love. Why do I say old releases? Chanel No. 5 Parfum exists since 1921. I've been wearing it for decades. I can't even tell you how many bottles of this I went through. So now every now and then, if I find it at duty free or for a good price, still sealed, I always stock up on this because heaven forbid Chanel were to have a crazy idea to discontinue the spray version, and they might. They're on some tangent right now, so you never know. So 4B, old releases I love. I buy whenever I come across a batch I like, pre-loved or new. Examples: Chanel No. 5 Parfum Refill, batch code 9XXX, batch bought new. That is how I purchase perfumes. And if we were to look at this list, comparing to how a lot of other perfume collectors and content creators out there, behave in terms of their spending and obsession with perfumes, I keep it tight. No pun intended. Keep it very tight, and I really, really dig deep into the perfumes that I love. Hence, if I love a perfume, I will expand into the territory of different concentrations, new nuanced releases, or flankers. If they release a flanker I like, of a perfume of the OG perfume that I love, I will also experiment and test out the flanker. I won't always buy a flanker, but I will most luckily always purchase a new concentration of a perfume that I adore. And this attitude allows me to further deepen my relationship with the fragrances. The reason why Après L'Ondée also entered my radar and roster is because a lot of people compared it to Comet. So I was like, okay, let me see this release that I was anticipating since more than 2 years now. Very excited about this release. I was like, okay, so people talk about Après L'Onde, they talk about Misia when they talk about Comet. So Misia I already have, but I was like, let me see what this one is about. I found it for a good price, blind purchase, but fell in love with it. Gorgeous perfume. So in a way, in order to deepen my connection and relationship to this one, I discovered this one. So sometimes it's a chain reaction as well that leads you to, that connects the dots between one perfume and the next. And that's how you deepen your collection. But take it slow. Take it slow. One step at a time. You don't need to purchase 10 perfumes all in one go. I know some people need to. Some people really need to get that kick. I need to sniff a new perfume every day. I need a new perfume every day. I'm not that type of person. I don't need to sniff a new perfume every day. I personally don't, to each their own. Obviously, I'm not judging who needs to sniff a new perfume every day. No, I'm more the faithful type that sticks to the ones he knows and loves. And I let them talk to me. I let them give me new nuances, tell me new stories, open up new secret niches and crevici, new secrets that they kind of kept locked for a long time. And with time, trust you me, if you actually give a perfume the time and you wear it in many different situations, different weathers, different moods, you will experience new facets of that fragrance. So what I'm trying to say here, it's not that a new perfume you buy, it's just good for that moment when you first purchase it, spray it once and smell it and you get that endorphin kick and okay, now let me get a new endorphin kick. Let me buy a new one tomorrow. Trust the process of the perfume talking to you and telling you the story, because it will keep telling you more and more stories the more you wear it, and it becomes more and more beautiful the more you wear it. And I can tell you already now, I've had Comet since over a week, just about over a week, and I mean a little bit of a dent. Look at that, we put a dent into this bottle already. Boy oh boy. Boy, oh boy, the stories that I could tell you about this one just after 1 week of having filmed my first impressions of this one. New details, new stories, new facets, new secrets. This one is so complex. Right now, I could make another 40-minute video, brand new review of this perfume. And in that video, I could tell you stuff that was not at all in my first video that I made while I reviewed Comet. You see, you don't see many people on social media re-reviewing a fragrance often. I do. Chanel No. 5 Parfum, I think I made like 15 videos already on Chanel No. 5 Parfum because it keeps telling me new stories. And as it tells me new stories, I convey them then to you guys. So I take my time. And I think perfumes deserve the time. I think they really do. So this kind of is my mental list, my categories. And now I have shared them with you. So if you do like them, if these help you in any way, shape, or form, I'm super happy. If you have a completely different perception of fragrances, by all means, stick to your perception if you prefer yours. This is not a must by any means. This is just what I personally do. I would never tell you what you should do. You do you. I would never tell you have to do this. Never. This is what I do. And I'm sharing it with you because quite a few people have been asking me, like, how do I go about collecting and purchasing new fragrances? So if you like this video, thumb it up, subscribe. Thank you so much for subscribing. One more point I just want to say. The good thing about oldies but goodies, they usually become cheapies. So perfumes that I love like Lulu, Moschino Cheap and Chic, Eden, Liz Claiborne, Obsession by Calvin Klein, they were very costly when they were first released in their own decades. But if they stay in rotation at a certain point, they get reformulated, maybe watered down, although Lulu, for me, smells much better now than it did in the 80s. in its current formulation, but they become cheapies. So you could get them for $10, $15 a bottle, while in the past you would have to pay $40, $50 for the bottle, or $100. So another good thing is if you do love old school perfumes, right, that have become cheapies now, that's also a really good way of saving some money. And I know that a lot of perfume reviewers don't like to review the oldies but goodies because they're not new releases, so they think they're not going to get a lot of views if they talk about the oldies. But I talk a lot about the oldies because I don't care if I get a lot of views or not. I talk about them because these perfumes are magical to me, you know. So I never expected to get a ton of views when I reviewed Eden by Cacharel or when I reviewed Lulu by Cacharel. But slowly but surely, those videos are gaining more and more views as time passes by, you know. So that's another aspect. You could maybe add a subcategory if you wanted, like the cheapies, the oldies but goodies. But then again, to each their own. We don't all like the same perfumes, obviously. We don't all like the same smells, obviously. There you have it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, thumb it up, subscribe, let me know your thoughts down below. And until next time, never forget to never give up on love. Bye.